Sunday, September 5th, 2021. I'm just watching the news. Apparently today's Labor Day, Labor Day. We, like, I know there's holidays on the calendars. Even as kids, though, the New York State schools did not teach us what these holidays were. It just says the word labor, Labor. So I'm looking at the television for some direction today, and this is what comes on. But it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it's hard to decipher what he's talking about. Apparently also it's Rosh Hashanah, and there's a lot of Jewish people in New York. I wouldn't know because, I mean, I've heard there are. It's just none of them are real. Like, none of them come out. None of them have made their presence known. Star 1978, star 8378.
It's like Cindy says, where is the year going? All right, as you get going today, you won't need as much sunscreen because we've got clouds and a little bit of wet weather. And I'm obviously very, very mindful.
That's New York City.
So many folks dealing with so many issues. Boy, I tell you, driving around yesterday, obviously we were in part.
Only time I ever met Jewish people in my entire life was in elementary school, but it was really more Protestant kids and some Jewish kids. But then in work, there were some Jewish guys, but again, nobody like intermingled with the Christian kids. Like, they kept to themselves. Again, reverse racism, I don't know, is that what that's called? It gets confusing with you humans.
Parts of Morris County, Essex County, Little Falls, just it's house after house after house, losing so much, and all of the vehicles, what a nightmare that's going to be. Mostly cloudy and 67. So just saying that to let you know that we are mindful of what we've all been through. So
that's a new word for a weatherman.
Saturday, we needed those good days. Today we have the showers. It's a little cooler at 76. Warmer Monday and Tuesday. 76 is below normal. The record for the day is set back 1985 is at 94.
This means something. I just don't know what.
7:21. In a week, it's still in the 7 o'clock hour. In 8 weeks at 5:53. So again, if you love early
7:21, 7:09, 6:57.
Merry Christmas. Christmas is 111 days away. Thanksgiving, 81.
Now this I know is important, countdowns, but I'm just not, I mean, I've never seen them ever display this on television news before. I just find this very interesting, this form of communication. I know it's important to somebody, I just don't know whom.
81 days away, Halloween 56. Now, fall doesn't get here for 17 more days. So again, this week it's still summer, and it's going to feel like it with numbers in the low to mid 80s on Wednesday. So remember, even though it's the unofficial end of summer, it's going to feel like summer this week. Labor Day is tomorrow. Labor Day was first observed in 1882. New York was the first state to say we're going to make it official, but Oregon beat them to the punch.
How do you even find these facts out?
They were part of a group of 4 that were next in line. It became an official federal holiday in 1894, number 7 of 12 federal holidays.
What the hell does that even mean? How do you find these things out? I mean, it begoggles my mind about these humans.
Holidays, and again, it honors the labor leaders that gave us the 5-day week, 40-hour week.
The labor leaders. What the hell does that even mean? You mean the guys who figured out to do blood banking, to put everything on credit, to steal from everybody, throw them in a big, deep depression, and then put insurance houses and companies up to ensure their future profits by selling your skin to an insurance house and a designated degenerative disease in a calendar format? Is that who you mean by Labor Day? I'm just curious. I mean, I wasn't part of it, but I can see it clear as day. I just don't know what's wrong with the fucking humans.
So many things that we take for granted. So happy Labor Day to you. So we've got a few showers out there right now. 2 parts of Sullivan. See, and that's not heavy rain, but that's light rain filling in. Dew points are high enough to support that. And then you have this front. So the concern is going to be, an interruption shower. So if it's a family gathering today, it's a
Yeah, there's not going to be
interruption. You're
because
in,
there's
and you're
no
back out.
family around. There's no family to be had. Nobody in whatever we call a family gets together. Now, this is interesting.
Rabbi Mark Wilds of the
Right.
Manhattan Jewish Experience Catering.
Hold on.
Rosh Hashanah, the celebration of the Jewish New Year, begins tomorrow night. In the midst of the pandemic, some congregations...
When you don't know the people and they don't come out to instruct you or inform you of their sacred things, it's hard to follow along with what they know to be like a way of life. It doesn't exist for the rest of us.
Congregations are carefully planning to gather in person, and others are connecting virtually. CBS 2's Lisa Rosner reports.
These photos from years prior to the pandemic show the thousands of people typically drawn to the Jacob Javits Center in Midtown for free Rosh Hashanah services with congregation Beit Simchat Torah. It's the world's largest LGBTQ synagogue.
I've never even heard of this.
But for the second year, the clergy will live stream prayers online.
We have people from 14 different countries and from 40 different states joining us. We have to understand that it's our obligation, if we are alive at this minute, to live our lives as fully as we possibly can.
And a deeper craving for human connection is why Chabad of the Upper East Side says there's more interest in services this year than years past.
Because of the isolation, I think for many people, it actually highlighted for them the importance of community.
Rabbi Mark Wilds of the Manhattan Jewish
Community? Where? I live in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I go to the local Episcopal church, which is like the light Catholic Christian thing, and they're practicing heresy. And they have no community whatsoever. I don't know if you're able to keep your community tight, but I arrived in 1978 and there was nothing here.
It's catering to adults in their 20s and 30s.
It's shut-ins, otherwise you're affected.
The signature sounds of the shofar.
Rosh Hashanah is really a time to ask ourselves why we exist. The shofar is a ram's horn that we sound, and it's supposed to be like a shrill. It's supposed to sort of shake us out of our slump.
Really? The chauffeur? Because in Manhattan, the chauffeur is the driver. It's the guy that gets in the car and drives at the wheel while you have everybody else seated in the back or to the side. That's what the chauffeur is in New York State. Just so we're aware, within the 19th century, decade 7 plus 8 years when I arrived, and century 20. Decade 1 and 2.
Slumber.
It's also customary to eat certain foods as part of the Rosh Hashanah feast. And at Balabusta in the West Village, Rosh Hashanah meal kits are ready to be delivered.
I don't get a chauffeur because I have no money, but that's what I'm assuming the foreign nationals do.
There is no gefilte fish on the table. There is spicy Moroccan fish.
Families have different traditions of what they will eat on Rosh Hashanah, but one theme common among all is always having apples and honey for a sweet new year.
That's the strangest combination. We do apples and cinnamon. That was Weight Watchers' recommendation back when our fat asses, Linda and I had Benjamin. We had to go try to lose weight and figure out nutrition from something local because there was no nutritional classes, but we had to pay for that. It didn't really work out.
And a round challah to symbolize the circle of life. Before eating, everyone wishes each other Lashana Tova, to a good new year. In the West Village,
Does it work? Because I haven't had a single good new year, and I don't have any of this
Now with John Elliott.
ritual. Since I arrived, they had nothing. They were stripped at the country door from Italy and Ireland.
And I only say this because we did a live shot at Bread's Bakery last week.
Oh my
and
goodness, Bread's
pomegranate
Bakery.
is another key fruit because it's so plentiful. So yeah, I love all the symbolism and bread. And speaking of holiday.
And it's September 5th right now, 2021. My other thing is that I got arrested because Anthony stole the keys to my car. I wanted the keys back, and then he had me arrested for breaking through the door because he was locked in a room This was during one of his drug spells. He was locked in a room with the keys to my car, with my son in the room. So I couldn't get the door open, and it was a hollow core door, but I broke the door as I was trying to get into my son. And so then he had me arrested. So I apparently have some court date, but somebody went in my room and took the papers. So now I have no idea how to contact or where to go for any of this stuff. I'm going to try 311, but they don't like send you an update card in the mail or anything. I mean, the whole court system's absolutely ridiculous. I think there's some kind of lightweight restraining order, they said, against me and him, but it's like, really? I avoid him like the plague as is. Him and I don't really congregate. Yesterday I took a video, but I was by the television, and then he entered my space. But again, he seeks me out. I don't look for his attention ever. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cataruza.